Bye. I'm down. I can't see. Need to go.
Welcome everyone to the social van. Feeling Kyle sick of the bullshit. So here they are, reppin' C+, ready to turn every podcast to dust. So sit down and shut the fuck up, cause when in doubt, fuck your couch. Welcome everybody to the social vent. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, this is KMB The Sexy Ninja in the place to be as always, and I have a special guest, the most specialist guest, the sexiest guest I think we've ever had. No offense to the other guests, but this guest is super awesome. I'm super happy we finally the planets have collided, and it is amazing. So, no more waiting. Will you introduce yourself, good sir?
Hey, what's up? It's McNastee from Underground Hustlin and 13% and Bearded Man Everywhere. The envy of. What's up, KMB? How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been telling everybody, I'm like, oh, Thursday, as soon as it rolls around, baby, we're going to do it. I'm excited. So I'm so happy that you're here and I'm here and we can chat it up. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Did you see that I cut my own hair? I don't know if you saw that on Instagram, but I cut my own hair recently.
I did see that on Instagram and I laughed because I did cut my hair during all this craziness and I just shaved it all off. I was just like, I'm going smooth as butter. I'll start from the beginning, and when everything reopens, I'll recut it up.
Yeah, I just combed my hair. I cut it at the part, so no fade or anything. Just straight up to the part, and then girlfriend cleaned up the back, and I can't see the back of my head anyway, so I don't even know if it looks good or bad. It looks fine from the front.
Well, just to say, you look fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
So I want to get it rolling here. I want to get the one project that popped out this week that I was so excited about, and I want to know more about it, is your track with Intrinsic, live stream, The Revolution. I was just floored because I was like, oh, punk, the style just slamming me in the face, and from you two. And I think the story goes, you guys started a punk band, if I'm correct, a long time ago.
No, like we started in punk bands. So I was in a band called the Doozers. And I think that like there's a band camp somewhere. It's probably the Doozers record is probably hiding on a band camp somewhere, not the Underground Hustling one. Intrinsic, he was in a group called Dickie Staboner, and I want to say that he played drums for a more like hardcore like street punk band, and their name like escapes me right now, but the only thing I remember is like one of the dudes in the band punched Danzig, and there's like a video on YouTube of the guy knocking out the dude from Danzig, and I'm the worst with names, so but anyway, like and then Will comes from Fall Guy, and Fall Guy was like a rap metal band, and they toured with Twisted back in the day, and I met Intrinsic back when we were early on starting like the rap thing. So like we met in Baltimore. We were both doing a show, and he was getting ready to put out his first CD, WILL, his first solo rap CD, and I had started putting out my own records because after the punk band broke up, kind of like during the course of it, like I was trying to learn how to record, and so the easiest thing for me to record was over rap beats. So I started rapping, and then it grew into that. Now it's like full circle. Here we are. We have a punk song in 2020, and Will did all the music, and he sent it to me. He's like, "You want to do vocals on this?" And I did the vocals on it, and I could have sworn that he was screaming on there too, but apparently it's all just my vocals. He didn't add anything to the track, so vocally, but he did everything: the drums, the bass, the guitar. Mixed the track. It's like 90% Intrinsic and then 10% me. But it was like, I think we recorded that song last August, and just like the content is just so like right now, like this is the content that people need to hear right now. And we talked about doing this and that, and then we filmed our parts separately for a video, so there's gonna be a video coming out for that real quick too.
Sweet. Yeah, when I heard this track, it inspired me in so many ways, especially because I am working on a little EP right now. And immediately after hearing the song and it just mind boggling everything inside, and just, I called a homie of mine. I was like, yo, if they can do it, I can do it, because I do love punk music and it's deep in my blood. So I was like, this has inspired me to even try, do or die, whatever. But yes, I want to thank you both for inspiring me, maybe inspiring others as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that, because sometimes, even we like get in there and like, oh, let's try this. And there's been a lot of times where I feel like the stuff that hits the cutting room floor that you guys don't hear, like, are the stuff that we fallen flat on our faces on. Me more than anybody else, but it's good to get out there and try different shit. It's like those guys from Twisted, they can do whatever they want. Like, they can do the rock sound, they can do straight up grimy hip hop, and they can even put out like a trap record as a joke and still be better than half the trap records that are out there.
For sure. And I want the next project I want to talk about that just it made me happy with all the giggles and everything is your Elbow Drop EP. Okay, before we go into the EP, what is your love for professional wrestling and how deep does it go? Like, when was the first time that you fell in love with the professional wrestling art?
Okay, so I'm old, so I'm going to date myself. And I would say that it was probably around 1989, which would be WrestleMania 5. So that would be like the Macho Man was champ and Hogan was coming for him and everything. And then Ultimate Warrior was maybe about to become Intercontinental Champion. It was it was that time. I think that I had seen some stuff early on because I liked the A-Team as a little kid, and Mr. T was with Hulk Hogan at one point. And my first introduction, okay, now I'm thinking like the first introduction was Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. So I've never seen wrestling at that point, and I'm growing up in Germany, and my Aunt Lucy brought or sent videotapes over to Germany from the United States of Saturday morning cartoons. And one of the cartoons was Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, and one of the cutaway scenes was Andre the Giant looking to buy a car. He couldn't fit in any cards, so they got him inside of a giant tractor, and that was the car that he decided to buy at the end. So the most ridiculous thing. But then we got back to stateside, and oh man, these guys, they actually fight. This is great. And then my parents would take me to the Great Plains Coliseum in Lawton, Oklahoma, and we would get to see the Von Erichs. They would come and fight. And then sometimes this was when, and I don't even know if like WWF fight like wrestlers could do non-WWF events at the time, or if it just kind of worked out the way it does. But we got to see like Rick Rude, and we got to see the Honky Tonk Man that came to our like little town. And man, I just fucking love wrestling. Like everything. Like the Hulkster was my man. Like if you like my, I'm gonna stand up real quick. I can't even reach it. Like I've got like you could see like there's like some autographed Hogan figures from like 1990 up in there. And like I'm fortunate enough right now to work with a company called Cardillo Weight Belts, and they have done all the belts for Hogan for like the last 30 years. So yeah, I love wrestling. WrestleMania 5, 6, like I'm, as far as like great matches go, like some of my favorite matches are like Razor versus Shawn Michaels ladder match, and then, but and I love like Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13, but like the match to me was Hogan versus Warrior at WrestleMania 6, and it's not, you look back and it's not a great match, but it's a great match for Hogan and Warrior. And being, 10, 11 years old, it's like, these guys, they're the strongest guys in the world, and they're fighting each other. Attitude Era, went through all of that and stuff, and then I kind of fell off. I want to say like maybe like 2006 to 2010. I kind of fell off wrestling, and then did you guys see the CM Punk pipe bomb? I was like, CM Punk pipe bomb? What are you talking about? And he showed it, and then like I was like sucked back in, like, oh my god, this is so great. Yeah, and I want to say I'm a casual fan of the current product, but we talk about, you talk about 1989 to about 1999 2000. Like I can talk all day about those years.
Those are great years in wrestling. And you talking about Hulk Hogan is my guy as well. I have one of those figures you have, but it's out of the box. I had it since I was a kid, and I geeked out. I was like, oh man, he still has the card on it. And so for me, my favorite Hulk Hogan match of all time, is Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter.
WrestleMania 7.
Yeah. And the intense of just, the burning Hogan shirt, and Hogan bleeds in the match. I just remember being a kid and just crying. Like that was my favorite VHS. I cried. I was like, come on, Hogan, even though I knew Hogan would always come out. It's just, that's just why I gravitated towards, I was just love the Elbow Drop EP, because you just show that love in it. And, especially in your stage wear, when you got the Macho Man gimmick, and I saw too that we talked about belts. How many belts do you have that say McNastee on it, Hogan style?
I have one, and it's like the original one was like a black belt with the red and white McNastee logo on it. Then the second one I got was a red belt with black and white McNastee, and then I had a guy come in and airbrush the spider webs on it. And then the third McNastee belt I got was the one with the Hogan style lettering on it. Then the fourth one I got was a Punisher style belt, which is like black and silver, and it has the Punisher skulls on it. So I think I have 4 McNastee belts right now. And then I have a Hollywood for President belt. Got a Hulkamania belt that's signed by Hogan. It's a red and yellow. And then I've got a signed American Made, like a WrestleMania 1 where he wore the American Made shirt. It's a white belt, has the American Made logo on it, signed by Hulkster, and it's airbrushed by the guy. There's airbrushing of stars on it by the guy that did the original NWO logo.
Mind blown. That is awesome. So going into the Elbow Drop EP, what inspired the project just to be like, okay, this is what I want to do next?
So a lot of the stuff on Elbow Drop is just like singles that got released from like 2017 on. And like, honestly, I have a show coming up, and I'm going to be in front of a bunch of new people. So I pressed up 100 copies of this and decided like, oh man, I'm going to give out CDs to these people at this show. And there was a good portion of people there. Like, I would say there's 400, 500 people at this show. And my whole intention was to give out all of these CDs. And I'm old school, so I'm old and old school. So it turns out that people prefer to listen on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon and Google Play and YouTube. And so I ended up leaving the show with about 65 copies of this CD. That was just supposed to be a promotional CD. I was playing with Demon Jones and Long Cut and Cypress Spring. And I wanted to get out to that country crowd, but not really I'm going to do a country record. No, I threw the Struggle Jennings song on there, which I've been kind of holding on to for a while, and then just let it go. So Elbow Drop was just like, it's kind of like a out of nowhere, like an RKO. I put it together, didn't promote it, didn't really like, oh, this is a big release. It was just a collection of singles that have been out on the digital platforms for a while.
And going into that and what you're saying with CDs and stuff like that, my homie Colin got me the Elbow Drop EP as a gift, and it came with all the stickers and stuff like that. I was just like, oh my goodness. And I was just like, I automatically went on my phone. You know, I love collecting CDs, but this day and age, it's just so crazy with all these digital platforms and the way people get their music and stuff like that. I just always thought it's important to make sure that, you know, as collectors in this game, CDs I feel like are very important, and especially too when it helps the artists and stuff like that. Because I've always believed in making sure to purchase a physical copy, and I'll have it for the rest of my life. It's just like a movie I bought on DVD. People look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, "Why are you buying DVDs?" I'm like, "Yeah, one day the internet could just go out, and I still have all my movies. I still have all my music and stuff like that." And for you, when because you've been in the game for a long time and you saw the transition from what it is today and what it was back then, how would you say that, you know, as somebody who keeps hustling and grinding, you stay, you know, on the right track in this day and age?
Yeah, um, I think for artists that are putting out like records, like the physical copy and the pre-order is the most important thing for their existing base. Like we used to be able to go to different cities, and you could even stand outside of a mall or convenience store or whatever, and you could hustle CDs to people like, oh, hey, we're in town for right now. You know, we're putting out these records. We're doing a show tonight, and we got these CDs, and you could really hustle CDs to people. And now it's just like, are you on Spotify? Uh, yeah. so like the hustling CDs to get new listeners is tough. Like the hand to hand interaction. And I've never been a salesperson, and I think that someone like Menacide or Psycho of Insane Poetry, they can tell you the ins and outs of hustling CDs hand to hand. Me, I always relied on the live show and, you know, trying to open for more established acts and trying to appeal to their audience has been good. But you know, you run that course, and you start, if you cater to that same audience, eventually you're going to tap those people out. So you got to start finding new avenues. And with streaming, finding new listeners and creating fans from streaming could rely on playlist placement and features. A lot of times, some of the biggest songs that I have streaming wise are featuring, you know, more established artists than myself. So like Hulk Smash, with it's Intrinsic and myself and Mad Child. So Mad Child's following online, like his fans find those songs. There's a song that was on the UGH. It was a Dynasty, the Mexican Thugalo song with Gmo Ski on it. So that's like another big song for that show that pops up in my plays, because you know, people find McNasty through Hell to Pay with Dynasty and Gmo Ski. So having something, you know, having like features of artists that have a strong online base will get you discovered. You know, playlists will get you discovered. Spamming people's inboxes on Facebook will get you blocked. That's not the way to get discovered. You know, you can also do, you know, the spending money to get heard and to you know, get fans is good, but you know, you have to be smart about it. Remarketing and pre-roll ads. Tom McDonald, you know, as much as like I'm not the biggest fan of how, you know, his like kind of clickbaity songs, it's like I understand it now, but at first, man, I was super triggered by that dude, but then I understood like he's just playing the game. And he does a lot of pre-rolls So like I would click on like a Jelly Roll song on YouTube, and he would do a pre-roll ad, and his pre-roll ad would actually be his song. So his song would start playing. I would hear a beat, rap beat coming in. All right, and then Tom McDonald starts rapping because the way he sets up his marketing online is he'll do pre-roll ads, and you can also do targeted ads through Facebook and Instagram, like sponsored ads. Playboy the Beast had a really good rollout for his last record on through Facebook and Instagram ads. Like I kept seeing them. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is working. So like switching over from physical to digital, like the physical is there for your established. Give your established fans something that they won't get if they're not if they're choosing to buy the physical over streaming. Create a killer booklet. The UGH 70 vinyl has all the lyrics. Like, how many rap albums do you know that have all the lyrics? The only one I really know is like Crossworm put all the lyrics. Did Twisted do it on Continuous Evolution? I want to say that they may have had that in the booklet. I'm not sure. No. But rap albums with lyrics, that would be dope. I think it's dope. Crossworm did it. We did it with a UGH 70 vinyl, like I was saying. Give give your fans something more if they're going to spend money on the physical CD than they would get through this streaming. Give them extra songs, give them instrumentals, give them a fuller booklet, not just a piece of paper, and give them trading cards and a pack of stickers. But I digress. Like I don't even remember the question. I could just talk about shit forever.
No. That's what the social event is. We talk, we express what we feel and stuff like that. And it's very interesting with the Underground Hustlin mixtapes, which I love. I personally reviewed them on the channel, and that's what I really like about it is I'm discovering new artists. And when I reach out to this artist, like here's one, for example, Irate. We've actually become friends on Instagram and stuff like that, and we message back and forth. And I love discovering new artists, just like Blackfoot 505. He messages me every once in a while and this and that, and I do what I can to be like, okay, cool, is this a single? Oh, I will review it. I will make it as entertaining as possible because I want everyone to check out this artist. And we are moving forward with songs of the week, and we want to introduce people like, hey, this is the type of music that people want to hear, not mainstream stuff and stuff like that. This is what music is all about: discovery, finding an artist, relating to an artist and stuff like that. And with the vinyl you just mentioned, how did that come about?
Intrinsic said, I want to do a vinyl, and that's how it came about. He was saying, I've been doing UGH since number one, so it's like I was there for the first one. I think Keep Saying My Name was on UGH Volume 1, and I did the disc art and everything, and throughout the course of all 71 so far, I want to say that I did the first 52, and then we brought on Aaron, and Aaron Lauder's done quite a few of these UGHs now. He's doing the sports cards for UGH 71 with King ISO, and Legion did the Gmoski Dragon Ball Z CD. But for the most part, like I've done every CD layout. So once it goes to press, like I compile the art and put it together and everything. The UGH, is it's kind of like the physical playlist. It's like discover new music. This is what it's for. And at first it was, the iteration was to get these artists into the hands of new listeners, and locally in the Phoenix area. And, you know, as it expanded to, we could do this, we can get artists all over the country and they can jump on this, and then we can send these CDs out all the way across the country, and thousands of copies per volume out to people, and then distribute those. You know, you can sell them, you can hand them out as promo, do whatever you want with them once you get them. So that would get artists from all over the country into new hands. And like every show we did out here at the Marquee or the Clubhouse or whatever venue we were at, we would, after the show, we would just hand out hundreds of copies of UGH CDs. And then we started getting into the business of getting hosts. And if I could never have imagined when I started making music that some of these artists would be shouting my name out at the beginning of these tracks. And then, you know, it just grew and grew. You know, we offered services, you know, graphic design, mixing, recording, you know, anything that you wanted. Like now it's, you know, now Will's all the way up to doing collaboration brokering, and you can open these shows and you can get onto tours and you can do this and that. And there have been like amazing artists that have come on to UGH and they're just killing it, you know, like Mr. Gray, you know, he jumped on a UGH, and then, you know, a couple years later, he's on Magic Ninja with Gorilla Voltage, and, you know, cats like Insane Lope, you know, it's like I probably never would have heard of him had he not jumped on an underground Hustlin, you know, out of San Antonio. He's fucking sick. And Blackfoot, like you said, like he's incredible also. So it's really, really cool to have watched, you know, and been part of the growth of the brand.
For sure. And, you know, what I like about it too is a good way to sell the mixtape and pitch it is you guys get these dope hosts, you know, like I saw one of those going through my collection, Ron Jeremy being a host of one. And, you know, I was just like, that is brilliant. You know, you be like, here's a dope mixtape. And by the way, we have a really well-named established host that's going to, you know, and I think that the hustle about it is so beautiful to me. I'm just like, it's definitely the true package of being like, here you go. We're not doing this. And when the vinyl came out, I was just like, oh man. And now with the next UGH mixtape coming out, I think the hype is real. And with I got tarot cards, and I was just like, this is brilliant. You know, you're giving your fans much more than they expect, especially with the vinyl and stuff like that. And going into that with you, what do you feel like is after the next mixtape for you personally? What's the next project?
I've just been talking to Intrinsic, and we're gonna do more singles together. And I just had a real like long talk with him about like, I'm probably never going to put out another project. They'll probably end up all being like Elbow Drop, where I can, you know, I would think I would be serving my fans better by delivering content on a consistent basis as far as like new songs go, then, you know, I get holed up in my head when it comes to a project, and I'll start a project and I'll have a direction, and then I'll just like lose, you know, I'll fall out of love with the idea or the concept, or I'll get stuck like writing. And so it would serve, you know, people a lot more, I think, if I were to just like, I made a song and here's a song, you know, here's breaking news, you know, in the coming weeks, you're going to hear, I'm finally releasing the Dead Don't Sleep with Blaze on my digital platform. So you'll be able to get it outside of UGH 70. Like I'll have a couple songs, one called Same Shit, Different Day, one song called Whiskey Women, Bad Decisions. And then after that, I have a track with Intrinsic and Jamie Madrox coming out. So that'll be, you know, 4 tracks. You'll start seeing more stuff pop up on Spotify and iTunes and Amazon, Tidal. I don't know anybody who subscribes to Tidal, but it'll be there for you as well. but yeah, I think that as far as, projects go. Um, I'll just give people music. Um, if there's something to purchase, it'll probably be a T-shirt or a hat. They're probably and until it's time to compile those songs into a CD format, then that'll be there. But the music will be there for you to consume and to listen to at your leisure. And if you want to support what I do, you can come to the UGH store and buy a CD of an old project, or buy a hat or a T-shirt. I've got a collaboration T-shirt with Bad Hombre coming for the Whiskey Women and Bad Decisions single. So there'll be a Whiskey Women Bad Decisions T-shirt. It's drawn by a tattooist in Kansas City, Missouri, named Steve Bayman from Golden Stag Tattoo. So there'll be that. So if you like the song and you like the singles that I'm putting out, you can go buy a T-shirt at Bad Hombre, McNastee Bad Hombre collaboration T-shirt.
And that is awesome. And it's just like your single Hollywood. Then you automatically had a shirt for it, which is straight up fire. And just the art alone is just eye popping and stuff like that. And with that going, with the mixtapes and stuff like that in Magic Ninja, how long have you guys been like collaborating? Is it since they started, or is this kind of like slowly transitioning with one another? Like, hey, you want to jump on? Or
yeah, I think that I want to say that maybe the first thing we did was it Lex hosting? Maybe it was Lex hosting, because we had when we had Boondocks, he was on Psychopathic at the time, but I want to say Lex was like the first host. And was it Lex? I would feel bad if I can't remember like chronologically back who the hosts were, but that was the tarot deck, and it couldn't have been Lex. It was Lex. It had to be Lex. Anyway, we Lex the Hexmaster, and I think that like Intrinsic has a great relationship with George over at MNE, and so I think more of it is just like George and Intrinsic, the business is solid. Like Intrinsic says, hey, this is what I want to do, and then George says, hey, yeah, we can do this, and like the business is tight, and like the deliverables are there. Like everybody gets what they're supposed to get. The artists that are on the comps, are delivered, exactly what they're supposed to get through their agreement. Whether it's copies of the CDs, like the shout outs, the verses, like the beats. Stir Crazy is offering like amazing beats and deals for people on UGH, and then Stir Crazy has his own MNE Beats, page offerings there over with Magic Ninja. So I just think Intrinsic does good business, George does good business, and so it's like it just works. Like and part of it too is like they just collaborate. Hey, what can we do for here? Hey, what can we do? What can we offer? What can we offer artists? Like Intrinsic goes to George and says, hey, what can we offer these artists? This time around, or what's the next move? They just bounce ideas off each other, and it works because the business is solid and it's transparent.
for sure. And that's so crazy to me, because I remember like the one thing that blew my mind, besides UGH and MNE working together, when you guys put out Toy Gory with Shaggy on it, and like the internet exploded, like underground wise, like everybody was like, what? Because with the relationship with Magic Ninja and Psychopathic, everyone was just like, what's going on? But I was just like, there we go. See, there would like that track to me was just like there's a light in the distance, and that track alone is one of my favorites. And I was just like, how did this happen? And rumor speculations, like I don't care. This track is dope, and Shaggy's on it, and the video for it is amazing. The graphics and stuff like that. And that's why I appreciate about you guys, Underground Hustlin, and everything you do, you know, I feel like the unity of the underground starts with you guys, and I mean that 100%.
Thanks, man. And also, just to double back, I'm gonna retract my statement that UGH 63 was the first one. It was UGH 50 with Blaze, and then it took a while, and then Emily was rolling, and you had Lex followed by Gmo Ski, followed by Lars. So it was just like a rolling with the hits with them. So yeah, I appreciate your kind words about UGH. Like it's been a fun 13 years so far.
For sure. And I really appreciate this. I really appreciate your time talking with us, you know, and I will always support Underground Hustling 100%. Always, I love you guys, and I know you guys shown love to me for the reviews I've done, even though as crazy and wild as I get, but it's just the passion and just the music. And I think all our fans here at C Plus Studios, and even just everybody that works with us, really just loves the fact that we're just showcasing the underground, and you guys are doing a great job as well. Before we go, I want you to plug whatever you need to plug, McNastee.com, Bandcamp. The floor is yours.
You can get your UGH stuff at ughstore.com. You can find my old releases there. You can find some of my t-shirts there and hats, and get your goods on. Like all of those shirts are there, but I'll tell you right now, just because of the climate we're in right now in the country, like it takes about 2 weeks for shirts and hats to go out, but it'll get done. But yeah, go buy that UGH 70 vinyl. We're down to a couple boxes left, so once they're gone forever. Go to my Instagram. Dirty McNastee is where I do most of my posting. You can add me on Facebook at facebook.com/McNastee Music, or you can find my personal Facebook, because I give no fucks either way. It's Christopher McDaniel. Check out my dudes, super famous Fun Time guys. Those are my guys, Whipstick and Mr. Eight Legs. Mr. Eight Legs did the Hollywood t-shirt design. He's fucking amazing, and he's an amazing person and an amazing artist, and I love him, and I miss the super famous Fun Time guys. Shout out to my man Dirty out in PA. Go get his new EP, Broken Strings and Beat Machines. He's amazing. Shout out to my dude Intrinsic out in Hawaii. We got some new music coming for y'all very soon. That live stream the revolution video will be out in a few weeks, I think. And I don't know, man, I just love all my people. Shout out to my dude Menasai. Shout out to my family over at the Push Agency. Shout out to Cardillo Weight Belts. Follow them online at cardilloweightbelts.com. We've got at Cardillo Weight Belts, cardillousa.com. And we do giveaways all the time. We got some Hogan belts to give away. We got fucking Michael Jordan belts to give away. The Rock. We got all the weight belts in the world, and he's still up and running and serving the bodybuilding and powerlifting community at the time. I don't know. And shout out to KMB The Sexy Ninja and C Plus Studios. I love y'all, motherfuckers.
We love you too. We love you 100%. Or in great words of Tony Stark, we love you 3000. Definitely go check out all those links. I'll have as many of those links as possible in the description below, so you can go check it out and show some love. Show Underground Hustling some love. Show McNastee some love. Also, before we get out of here, remember, go to shudder.com/forward podcast. Use a special promo code C+. Get yourself 30 free days on us, on one of the best horror suspense thriller apps. And remember, tpublic.com if you want to represent C+ and all that other great stuff. Also, yeah, that's about it. That's it. Before we get out of here, we have a slogan at C+ Studios, and we stand by it. And I would love for you to join me when we say, we end the show with, when in doubt, fuck your couch. And if we can sync this up just right, this is what we're going to do. And before we get out of here, though, the song of the week is Live Stream the Revolution, McNastee and Intrinsic. Show some love. The song is dope. I will have the link to the song for Bandcamp. Just go check it out. Support the underground 100%. And so, are you ready, good sir?
Yes, I'm ready.
When in doubt, fuck your couch. That's right. All right. Enjoy the song. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, McNasty. And to all the ninjas, woo, woo.